Today on Aged Care Employee Day, I really want to thank all aged care workers for their outstanding devotion to senior Australians in care. There's probably been never more a difficult time to work in aged care. The impact of COVID-19 in Victoria and New South Wales particularly has been simply tragic and devastating. Can I thank you all for your commitment? It really has never been more important. As we honour your work, I would like to make special mention of the finalists of the National Excellence in Aged Care Awards, which are being announced today. The awards aim to promote and recognise excellence across the diverse and dynamic fields of endeavour in aged care. The 5 categories are organisation, team, individual, rising star, and the new Next Gen Young Leader Award. The awards recognise and celebrate the passion and achievements of organisations, teams, individuals in the service of senior Australians and seek to increase community involvement in aged care services. I am incredibly proud of all the finalists across Australia. They demonstrate the calibre of aged services employees who devote themselves to the care of our loved ones each and every day. Every single one of you deserve our gratitude. Congratulations to all the finalists and to the dedicated staff across aged care all around Australia. Please be assured your work is valued. Thank you.
Aged Care Employee Day is an important day in any year. This year, with the hardships of COVID, with the challenges that we're facing, a disease that has such an impact on our elderly, your work is extraordinary. There are 1.3 million Australians who depend on our aged care employees. It could be our nurses, it could be our carers, cooks, cleaners, people involved in distribution, administration, in all the different parts of supporting our beautiful older Australians. You have dedication, you have skills, you have commitment. And to that, this year, unfortunately, there's also been the immense courage that's been required. And I want to thank you and acknowledge you. We're doing our best to support, but you are that front line. And as you take care of our older Australians who are most vulnerable in a time of coronavirus, I simply want to say thank you.
Hello and welcome to the Leading Age Services Australia's Excellence in Aged Services Awards presentation, broadcasting to you as part of Aged Care Employee Day 2020. Now in their 3rd year, these awards are a highlight of the laser calendar, and this is the first year, due to the unique challenges of 2020, that these awards have been delivered online. Now we're very proud to bring this celebration to you on Aged Care Employee Day, a day that's designed to publicly acknowledge and celebrate the work and commitment of all aged care workers across the country. We are so proud of all the committed, caring individuals and outstanding organisations that make up our sector, as they focus on the shared purpose of making a positive difference in the lives of the older Australians they care for and support. Now, these awards promote and recognise excellence across the diverse and dynamic fields of endeavour in the aged services sector. The awards celebrate the passion and the outstanding achievements of organisations, teams and individuals in the service of older Australians. Now, the National Awards will be announced in October, and there are more details on this to be released shortly. I want to personally thank all of you who took the time to nominate and to congratulate the outstanding individuals, teams and organisations that have made it to their respective state finals. I wish you all the best of luck in the awards.
Welcome to Laser Excellence in Aged Services Awards presentation as part of the Aged Care Employee Day. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rosetta Rosa and I am the State Manager of Laser and Northern Territory. Now in the 3rd year, these awards are a highlight of the Laser calendar, and we are delighted to be sharing our South Australian and Northern Territory finals with you online in this broadcast. But before we do that, I just want to pause for a little while and just take us back into the journey of how we find ourselves here today using this most amazing platform called technology, webinars, and online production. This time last year in 2019, I was travelling butterfly, celebrating with you all, loved the morning teas, loved the afternoon peas, had a most amazing opportunity to meet your residents, your clients, and was very much embraced by the amazing work that you guys do. In early February, March 2020, I was picking out my cocktail dress and having quite amazing conversations with you all about what you were going to pick to celebrate these awards. Pause, we froze, and COVID-19 came into our lives. We took breath and we waited. Still with uncertainty with our country is facing, in South Australia and the Northern Territory, we at least know that our sector, you and our community, will not be defeated. So no more waiting. We, Laser, with our sponsors, Hester and Ordinanet, together with you, our members and our finalists and others, have turned the tables around. Here we are with you all, challenges, not a challenge at all, doing what we do best. We acknowledge, celebrate and praise your work. And through these awards, Laser Excellence in Age Services, we have created a show, a party online. Different, yes, but still with high impact. And along the way, we have learned a bit more about the production of putting all of this online for you. But still, the party is just as powerful. The winner from each category will not only be awarded a trophy, and they also progress as finalists into our national awards. And this is when you as a sector comes together, you get a chance to shine with your colleagues very brightly, colleagues from the north, from the east, from the west, and from the south. And our most loved older South Australians and Northern Territorians will see the amazing work that you do at the national level as well. Of course, these awards would not be possible without the very generous support of our sponsors. Both Hester and Ordinanet have been amazing in recognising the hard work that you do and also supporting Laser in bringing these awards to you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Alison Perrott from Ordinanet to say a few words. Thank you, Alison.
Ordinanet was founded in 1951 by Charlie Ord and Jack Minett. Since then, Ordinanet has grown to be a leading Australian wealth management group, incorporating full-service stockbroking, financial planning, funds management, and portfolio services. Ordinanet is a highly respected name in the Australian investment landscape focused on service excellence. Independently owned, with offices across the country and in Hong Kong, Ordinanet clients benefit from our specialist corporate finance, fixed interest and asset management teams committed to providing unique investment offerings. Our research team is renowned for its coverage of emerging companies and were ranked number 1 and 3rd overall, including global investment banks. With our extensive financial markets experience, we provide a strong value proposition to meet your investment and planning needs. Discover the value of our advice.
To all of you watching these awards on Aged Care Employee Day, honestly, I celebrate you. Please take a bow, clap yourselves, till your hands hurt. Well done, everyone. What a year this has been so far. What an incredibly difficult and challenging time, professionally and personally. And look, it's not over yet, is it? Given the COVID-19 pandemic, I think these awards are more important than ever. Whilst I would have loved to have been presenting these awards in person, I did get dressed up. I am wearing my cocktail thing. But, look, I would have loved to have been there in person to award these to the most deserving group of people on the planet. Here we are, zooming to you in the comfort of wherever you are. Now, I know that on the top of your mind, you're asking, who is Ordinanet? Well, I'll put you out of your misery. We're investment advisors, and my team specialise in working with church groups, charities, and many aged care operators across the country. We provide a whole range of advice on everything from term deposits to best practice investment policies to your finance team, the CFO, CEO, and the board. Now that means we don't really get to see or deal with many of you, the drivers of this industry. So that is why we are sponsoring these awards. We know that all of you make an amazing contribution to your clients and residents, and we would like to honour your work, celebrate your wins, and appreciate and thank you. Now look, I've been providing investment advice to this sector for over 30 years. I'm pretty good at it, but I'm always learning. And I was researching the other day, as you do, on the internet, and I found a meme that amused me and I thought I'd share with you. Picture a scene from the film Back to the Future. Doc and Marty McFly are about to get into the DeLorean, and Doc says to Marty, whatever you do not set the clock for 2020. Yeah, that really sums it up, doesn't it? But whilst none of us want to relive this pandemic, my advice to you is to remember this year as one of those wins in personal growth and professional resilience. And I trust these awards go a little way to help you with that. Look, I hope to see you in person very, very soon. Good luck to all the finalists.
Is the industry super fund dedicated to the health and community services sector. Hester is extremely proud to have invested $19 million in the development of Korangi, a groundbreaking new dementia care village that opened its doors this week. I wanted to congratulate everyone at Glenview, the aged care provider behind this truly visionary project. CEO Lucio Flaherty and her team have worked so very hard over the past 2 years to bring this project to life. Korangi represents a huge step forward in how we care for people living with dementia. And we hope this will encourage innovation and improvement in dementia care that could benefit so many Australians and their families. At Hester, we believe that to make a difference to the financial future of every member, we must also consider how we can help address big social challenges like dementia. The investment in Korangi is part of our Impact Investment Program. These investments aim to deliver an appropriate, market-based financial return for Hester members, as well as a measurable social impact. Impact investing is also part of a much bigger focus at Hester about how we can earn strong long-term returns for members while also contributing to a healthier society and planet. We also hope that investments like Korangi will encourage other large investors like super funds to make their own impact investments. If even a tiny slice of our almost $3 trillion super industry start investing for impact, it will make a huge difference. And by encouraging the growth of Australia's impact investment market, we're also helping to create more jobs and opportunities for Hester members working in the health and community services sectors.
We are very fortunate to have two sponsors for South Australia and the Northern Territory Awards this year. And it is my pleasure to introduce Colleen Hogan of Hester. Very well known, Colleen. You've been around for many years, and Hester is very much in the know of the support that our workforce in aged care is doing. So over to you, Colleen. Thank you.
I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Kaurna people, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Hester, as the Fund for the Health and Community Services sector, has always worked hard to protect the long-term financial well-being of our members. And over the last few months, this has proved to be more important than ever. We know how hard our members are working right now, and many of them are at considerable personal risk. My colleagues and I have been speaking to thousands of members experiencing significant financial challenges around Australia. I think what will stay with me from this time is the kindness, patience and gratitude of the members I've been able to assist. In such personally challenging times as well, facing job loss and for many ill health, and compounded by the instability of the investment markets and an uncertain future. It has been really humbling. Hester members have access to interactive webinars on topics such as early release of super and the investment markets via the Hester website, and also tailored webinars via work sites. Hester has always had a comprehensive one-on-one advice service with advice for members about their super at no extra cost. And these times have highlighted the significant impact of good advice in giving members a peace of mind to make the best decisions for their financial future. So today, it is with great pleasure that I'm here to represent Hester as a sponsor of these awards, to celebrate and recognise outstanding achievements of organisations, teams and individuals in the aged services sector. Hester is a proud partner of Laser nationally, and we respect the tireless work they do in supporting and providing a voice for the providers of aged services. And finally, I would just like to say good luck to all of the finalists. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. And now the show goes on. The first category is the Team Award. This award recognises the team working with the aged services sector that has created an environment that encourages workplace diversity, positive work culture, and an increased staff wellbeing through the development of services, processes, or is using innovation initiative to improve the lives of older people and to improve the aged services experience.
So I'm David Planter, I'm Chief Executive at ECH. And a few years ago now at ECH, we decided that we needed to look at how to respond to the diverse needs of our communities that we serve here in South Australia. And one of the first areas we decided to focus on was the older members of the LGBTI community. We saw it as a group that potentially were missing out on services. And also, because of that, often their health and their experience of ageing was poorer than it should be.
And so we undertook a co-design project at the end of 2016, the start of 2017. And I spoke to a number of lesbians, gay men and trans women about what type of services they want to see when they need to access aged care. Basically some information about aged care services and how to access them. And they also wanted to be able to reconnect or connect with their tribe. And that's a direct quote from a couple of the people that we spoke to.
And I guess one of the roles that we have is supporting members of our community to understand what aged care services are available and how to access and navigate those services, particularly in their home.
Well, during the last couple of years actually has been to develop information sessions, which we've called You Can Ask That, which is obviously a bit of a take on the You Can't Ask That wonderful innovative model and program. And what works beautifully is that we make ourselves vulnerable and we sit and we talk about our experiences of living in the community, and they're willing to listen. They ask really interesting questions and they're quite confronting for us, and we're very open to discussing what it actually means to be treated with respect and with dignity.
And one of the things we do is we have a home visitors program. We get applications from people who want someone to be matched up with an LGBTI volunteer.
I am a resident of an ECH property and I'm now in my 7th year. So it means that as an LGBTI community member, I'm able to talk with first-hand information and knowledge about the properties and help allay some of the concerns that people may have about the possibility of moving into an ECH property.
My main role is to support the T in LGBTI. And this is a particularly vulnerable group to show that organisations do well by supporting LGBTI people. And you can see other aged care providers trying to do the similar things to us and get the rainbow tick, and we support the silver rainbow education program for other organizations. And so society can change just by a role model, and it can filter down to the rest of South Australia.
That we've been nominated for is the Simpler Study. It's a medication simplification project that we worked on. It was a collaboration between Monash University and Helping Hand Aged Care. It was funded by the NHMRC Cognitive Decline Partnership Centre, and Helping Hand was a partner within that big group of researchers and aged care providers and people living with dementia. It was a very large project. It went over a few years with the aim of improving quality of life for people living with dementia. And so our Simpler Study was part of that wider project. And so we worked with Helping Hand to create a project where we could try to simplify the way that residents take their medicines.
Very well, and I think it was a great opportunity for our organisation to be involved in such a project, and also to embed some of the things like having a pharmacist on site, which was great having Janet on site, because not only were able to have the benefit of that within the research project, there were lots of other benefits of having Janet to be able to ask questions too, and on other projects or other things that were happening around the organisation.
So it was a long-term trial. So we started enrolling residents, and we're following them for up to 3 years. But our main outcome was at 4 months. So at 4 months, did residents take their medicines fewer times per day? And so what we found was, in the group of residents in the 4 facilities who received the intervention from the pharmacist, at 4 months follow-up, they actually did take their medicines significantly fewer times per day.
I think about the benefits of research and partnering with an aged care organisation, where it's actually working with residents, it's working with staff on the floor to be able to embed these sort of projects, which have been proven from the information that we've gathered that there are benefits to both staff and residents and quality of life. So
sort of collaborating in an interprofessional way, and so I think this is a really great example of that type of working practice.
Pat was actually the main instigator in a lot of these gardens. We basically come up with the ideas that we need to get away from the gravel and the cement surrounding the building, and Pat was given the wonderful job of actually investigating and researching which plant would be appropriate.
Yeah, I'd like to put different small gardens around the building, so when they walk around the building, they can see different types of plants. Maybe take it back to when they were younger.
So this is one garden. The one you're looking at now is specifically the sensory garden. The residents come through that glass doorway, and then they've actually got this whole pathway, and Pat come up with the idea of
what I like about working here is we can assist in making Wallachra more of a home to the residents as they come in, and also being able to listen to all their stories they have, all the resident stories they have from when they were younger.
Well, what we did with this one in particular was we did it for dementia specific. They put a lot of work into it, then found everybody enjoyed it so much that we then had to create like little duckies in the water pond. So we're in our dementia dining room at the moment, that's behind us. And of course there's great appreciation from the staff for all the hard work that they do. And then the other little area they did is another fish one, and then they've done a beautiful pergola around this side, which we use for part of our palliative care for them to sit and have a quiet area. Excuse the digging in the background, we are building.
It'd be a show of recognition for our hard work that we put in from the maintenance team, and it'd be something the residents, we could hang up and the residents could look at and know that they're in good hands, the maintenance team.
Alison, you have the pleasure of opening the magic envelope, and the winner is...
And the winner is, thank you, Rosetta. Team winner is the maintenance team, Wallachra Home. Congratulations.
Well done to Wallachra Home.
Congratulations. Well done. Well done. That's amazing. What's in the fountain to do it with? Oh my God, that's speechless. Speechless. You kept him quiet. I love it.
The recognition is great, considering all the work we've put in through the gardens, and not just in the gardens, the maintenance side of things. New kitchens we're putting in, all the painting. It's just good to be recognised as a maintenance team for all the hard work we've done. So.
Excellent. And David?
Yeah, putting in the hours, like getting all the paperwork organised, all the preventative maintenance up to date and stuff like that. Yeah.
They are very speechless. They're not men of big words.
No.
They love their garden.
The next category is our Organisation Award, which recognises an aged service provider who has made an outstanding contribution to the care and the service development or the provision of a high-level support to the aged by demonstrating leadership, innovations and excellence.
So the Forget Me Not program we ran a couple of years ago as a pilot. We received some funding from the Office for Ageing Well in South Australia. And what we really wanted to do was to pilot an intergenerational program which matched a school with an aged care facility. Younger people in our community at an age where they're still forming their values and an outlook on life. So fast forward a year and a few months and we found ourselves with this grant funding. So we worked with a local primary school to develop an 8-week lesson program, all based on various aspects of dementia, so understanding the condition through to prevention, and also how to engage with people experiencing dementia. So the knowledge and understanding of the children pre and post program, and there was a marked increase in understanding and values, which we also did some parent interviews, and the parents mentioned that they saw that their children were withholding judgment in other scenarios of life as well. So it had sort of lovely ripple effects. And we also produce a newsletter for our aged care clients, which I'm sure lots of places do, but we're trying to encourage our residents to be actively involved in producing the content. So recently one of our residents wrote us a poem which we're going to put in there. So this resident says, "As life nears end of the ride, our good looks take a slide. We do our best to look the part and keep the beat of our heart. It's something we all face and try hard with style and grace. But there's something time can't sever, beautiful memories that last forever." So we're pretty chuffed with that.
So Helping Hand is a not-for-profit aged care provider in South Australia, and we provide retirement living, residential care, home care to around 7,000 clients in South Australia, mostly in the northern part of South Australia, particularly two in our country areas ranging from Port Lincoln over through to Broken Hill. So a large area with quite a number of sites and services. So I work in the Student Participation Unit at Helping Hand, which is a unit that was seeded through our Research and Development Department and is now embedded in our People and Culture at Helping Hand. My role there and the team's role is to work to form partnerships with training providers, with educational institutions, to place students within Helping Hand in our sites and services. And those students can be placed in traditional type placements where they will learn from our experienced staff, but more so we look at opportunities to grow services and make real differences for clients within our programs. And so I think the opportunity to make a difference, and in my field, in a mix of education and in healthcare,
the opportunity to work within the aged environment to then grow the types of services we can do by partnering with education seems like a fantastic opportunity. So I think aged care provides a great bed for that learning. Recognised as doing something that's actually making a difference to older people, but also making a difference in our future workforce, and that more people will have the tools in their toolkit to work effectively with older people. We can actually drive that into sustainable change for the future, and that I think has been a real gift to work in an organisation that has that vision.
Danny McKenna, and I am a registered nurse and the business development manager for St. Louis Aged Care. Fantastic new St. Louis on Sea, which is a first for South Australia, which is really exciting. And what it is a share home. It's an alternative way of living a full life for an older person who really does need 24/7 care and doesn't want to go into a traditional living environment. So our owners bravely took the big step and invested the money in purchasing land on the esplanade at Victor Harbour overlooking the sea. It's such a beautiful environment, and have completely remodelled and repurposed this wonderful home, and have now, we opened in March, and we've got 8 bedrooms, all beautifully appointed, beautiful home. But the heart of the home is the fact that all of our residents that come and stay with us, whether it's long-term or for respite, short-term arrangements, are encouraged to be the best they can be. They're encouraged to participate in everything that goes on in the home. When we heard that we had been nominated as a finalist, oh my gosh, we were really humbled. And the whole team were like, wow, that's amazing. We're humbled and very honoured to be included in, I'm sure, a very prestigious field, because there's so many good aged care services out there providing support for we've all got good intentions, I know we do.
The business commenced in 1952, providing housing to then aged care commencing in 1954. We are a well-respected aged care facility and the largest rural aged care facility outside of Adelaide. We are resident and customer focused and have a neighbourhood staffing model. And TLH has 190 staff and 90 active volunteers. The volunteers come from a Lutheran church background. So it's part of being Lutheran to give back to your local church organisations. And because we are a Lutheran church organisation, our volunteers really do come from the church congregations and assist our residents in various ways. We have a very active cafe, a very active Christian sort of activities plan that everybody gets involved in. So it really is trying to see what the future is and then working towards that. And I really enjoy pondering about the future and then coming up with projects to meet that. So we've extended our aged care facility, we've extended our retirement village, we're now looking into doing home care and so on. So our organisation was just so proud about the fact of being nominated as a finalist, and we'd be totally over the moon if we ended up with the trophy in our hand. And so I'd just like to thank LASA for putting the awards on, and we look forward to the final outcome.
The organisation winner for this year is Helping Hand.
Yay! Oh, that is so exciting. That is, I'm super thrilled. I'm super thrilled because that we can make changes. I think that we have this amazing opportunity. Aged care is such an exciting area to work in, and we can work with a lot of different areas. So we've worked with education to affect change within our sector, and I think that if we kind of look towards those different models, stepping out of our usual models of service provision and thinking maybe they haven't been working so well all the time, we know that, but that if we look a bit more broadly and kind of do work together with others, we can make such a difference. And I have to say that I need to say this, that the student program at Helping Hand grew from the research and development area at Helping Hand, which was absolutely brilliantly steered by some really innovative people who are innovative long before some of us who've been implementing it practically were at Helping Hand, and that includes Megan Corliss. So I think I would say something about that.
The next category is the Next Gen Young Leader. This is a new category this year and recognises the innovative, bold and inclusive young leader under the age of 40 who has made an outstanding contribution to the aged services sector and has used passion, drive and initiative to improve the lives of older Australians.
I work in South Australia for a national company which is called Extra Age Care. I'm a physio by profession, and I am a regional lead by title, so overseeing a team of about 20 staff members across 7-8 facilities around South Australia. I really encouraged our staff to look at implementing some continuous improvement projects at a site level that provides really good outcomes for the facility and residents involved in the facility. So supported a couple of the occupational therapists in the team to come up with these ideas and projects, met with the facility management, and then was able to start them rolling out across the facility. Walking group was really successful, had a lot of people involved. They loved getting outdoors, had a beginner and more advanced group, whether they needed that hands-on assistance or whether we could take them off the road a little bit. Beautiful facility, got a lovely gorge to overlook, and it was definitely the highlight of their week for some of them. So working in aged care obviously means a lot to me. You feel like you can really make a difference in people's lives. Every day you get that reward for your work. You see smiles on people's faces. They tell you how much they appreciate what you do for them, even though for you it's your job. You go to work, you do your job, but you get such great recognition. You generally don't have many down moments, and you always walk out with a smile on your face and have really had lots of good days at work.
Werfel. I work as the maintenance officer for Rose Court Aged Care, part of the Infinite Group. But I take care of the lawns, the gardens. I do all the testing and tagging, all the painting, and I do what I can to try to make improvements around the place. Yeah. And wall art, I got 2 buildings that I take care of. Down the side of one of the buildings is just a big center block wall, and that's pretty much all you can see from your window. And it's depressing as hell. I only have to walk by there occasionally, but whenever I just look out the residents' windows, that's all they can see is a big center block wall. And so my company asked me to do something about it, but they suggested putting up garden screens and other stuff. When I worked up the quote, it was over $3,000, and they were humming and hawing. It was taking too long, and so I just figured I'd just do it myself. And so, because I make a lot of stuff out of pallets at home, and so I just started bringing pallets into work. I broke them up, made a big bar out of them, painted the background. Being right next to a palm tree, I named it the beach bar, and so dressed it all up. And down the other end, I wasn't sure what to do, so I did my first ever painting. The painting you saw of the sunrise. Never painted before in my life, but I figured, what the hell, I'll give it a go. So I Googled paintings an idiot could do. So saw that one and thought, yep, I can do that. Bought a few tubs of paint and just spent a couple of hours, and I painted up a nice big sunrise, and it actually looks really nice. It's all nice and bright and happy. But it does look a lot better. It's slowly getting things done. Honestly, it doesn't feel like work. 90% of what I do, I enjoy. Only about 10% of it I don't actually like, but I still do it because that's what I need to do. I like working here. The people here are good. The residents, I get along really well. We're always chatting and joking around a bit. But it's just nice to just make the place better for them. they've all had hard lives, they've worked hard the whole life, and once they get here, they should be able to relax a little bit. So I like to keep everything running smoothly so they're not sort of stressing out and thinking that they've got to get up and fix stuff.
Alison, you now have the third special envelope. So here we go, drum roll.
And the winner is the Next Gen Young Leader winner, Tom Gray, Extra Age.
Well done, Tom.
No, thank you, obviously, very much for sort of acknowledging sort of my work within the sort of aged care industry. Sort of didn't expect to sort of go down this pathway, but I've really loved it and grown that passion for aged care and improving services as a whole. I've got a very supportive organisation which encourages me to sort of dare and sort of achieve and challenge not only myself but also the colleagues around me and support them to achieve goals for themselves, but also the amazing residents that we get to work with every day. It's been a very rewarding job and encourage all sort of young professionals to get involved in aged care because it is such a rewarding sort of career and can see myself doing it long term for years to come.
Our final category is the Individual Award. This award recognises an individual who has made an outstanding contribution to the aged services sector, has used innovation and initiative to improve the lives of older people and has delivered a high quality care to the aged.
I'm a nurse practitioner. I work for St. Anna's Residential Aged Care Facility. But when you work in aged care, the scope is quite wide. So you have to look into renal, cardiac, and all of the palliative care, dementia care, wound care management, way management. So I do provide clinical services in all those areas. And palliative care is there since I became the registered nurse. The sad part of it was that we do not, and as I said, the university structure is not in such a way that all the nurses get trained for the palliative care. So whoever comes and works in aged care, obviously they have to deal with palliative care, but they are not trained for it. And that was my problem when I became registered nurse. And that's what I identified at that time, that, okay, look, I'm passionate about working in aged care, but when it comes to end of life care or palliative care, I did not have enough understanding. So I had to go out there, get myself trained a bit more better, get more education in. We created a lot of education programs when I was registered nurse by Amanda and the team. So I realized that there is a need for all the nurses to learn about it, to gain more knowledge into it, because it's a very critical part of it.
The thing that impacted me most when I was interviewing KU, we talked about advocating for a patient tell us about an experience that you've had when you've needed to advocate for somebody. And he teared up a little bit. His eyes welled up.
Got tears.
Because he was talking about a patient that he was looking after in intensive care.
Yeah.
And that was dying, and he needed to go to the manager and advocate for this person that was dying, and he started crying. I thought, yes, I want this man.
So if I inspire 10 out of 1,000 and 2 will go forward and become nurse practitioner, that time I'll feel myself a true winner.
Patricia Di Maria. Everyone does call me Pat, but my real name is Patricia, and I work here at Infinite Care Clemzik, and I'm the lifestyle coordinator. I've been working here in this facility for 20 years. I always had a passion with the elderly, and then I thought lifestyle will be really good, because then I'll be able to actually, strive to do a bit more with them, because obviously being in that other role, I wasn't able to spend the quality time that I wanted with them. My goal is always to make them feel welcome when they first enter. That's my biggest role, making them feel welcome, putting on a big happy smiley face every day when I come in and they see that. So it makes them feel warm and they feel comfortable and they're able to come to me anytime they feel. To be nominated for something that I absolutely love doing, because I have a passion with the elderly.
love coming into work every day. It's never a chore. It's an enjoyment. I come in, I feel that when I do walk in, the first thing I do is put a smile on their face, because I walk in with a smile on my face.
Support worker, my role is to provide personal centered care to individual clients. Its clients are unique and would require bed service that befits their needs. And I follow the care plan provided to meet the daily activities of my clients. I provide support in their daily activities such as domestic assistant, personal care, social support individuals, social support group. I have a genuine care for my elderly. I try my best to help elderly as much as I can. And my team at Laraki Nation Aged Care is very supportive. I feel like I'm at home. Our team is like a family. We support each other. And most of my clients likes to take photos and videos, and so we just go somewhere for a ride and outing, and we take photos and videos. I also print photos from office, and I give it to my clients, and they will just put at their room on the wall, and they are very happy with it. I didn't know about the nomination at first. When I knew that I was nominated for the award, I was really shocked, happy and excited at the same time.
And the winner for the individual award this year goes to Kior Anand at St Anna's Residential Care Facility. Congratulations, Kior.
Thank you.
Start to cry now.
So thank you very much for acknowledging this, that I'm able to win this award. I mean, when I started my career, when I came to Australia in 2009, I never thought that I'd reach to this stage. As all the international students struggle, I had my struggle going through all the study and all that thing. But then in 2012, when I joined Amanda and the team, which was a turning point for my life. And I've been always inspired by them. We have the whole team here, Amanda, Janet, Wendy, and they have inspired me and helped me and encouraged me to go forward and achieve whatever you can. And they were there to support me all the way. So, I mean, this award, I would just like to thank and nominate or give it to, the credit goes to Amanda and team. I mean, it wasn't possible for me to reach here and stay motivated to stay in the industry. And I wish to do the same for the coming generation. I will keep inspiring the nurses and the staff to move forward and provide the best care for the most vulnerable community in Australia or in the society.
And that concludes the awards presentation. Wow, what a most amazing and very different way of acknowledging your hard work. I'd like to finish with some acknowledgements. Thank you to my co-host Colleen Hogan from Hester and Alison Perrott from Ordinanet for assisting in the presentations of these awards and for their generous sponsorships and for making it fun along the way. We've all learnt something different with the technology. Laser would also like to thank and acknowledge the official judging panel. These panels were made up of independent individuals who are aged care sector experts and members of consumer bodies. They volunteered their time and did truly place themselves in your hands when they assessed your application. Thank you to anyone for taking the time out of their busy schedule to nominate for these awards. I cannot underestimate the importance of leadership in our sector. To know when we have shining stars like you and to do something about it. like to give Laser the Excellence in Age Services Awards a go on your behalf. It takes one leader to find another leader, and so thank you. And finally, best of luck to all the South Australian Northern Territory finalists in the National Awards. The awards will be announced in October and more details on this event will be released shortly. And finally, best of luck to all our South Australians and Northern Territorians finalists in the National Awards. The National Awards will be announced in October and more details in this event will shortly be released. So from me to you, keep safe, keep doing what you do well, and that is looking after our most amazing older Australians. Thank you.